There is something so natural about a mother holding her newborn immediately after birth.
It's good for dad too. It doesn't have to be just mom.
And it really is a calming and a great way to bond with your baby.
Skin-to-skin care is crucial in promoting and protecting breastfeeding, so it's really important that we don't break that bond in that very precious time. It's really important that mom get to look into the eyes of her baby and the baby get to look into the eyes of its mother, smell each other, feel that heartbeat. The baby's temperature can normalize, mother's systems can get back to normal. There's a bonding that happens between mom and babe. And if it can't be with mom, then it can be with a support person like the dad, or in our institution, a lot of the times it's the grandmother or kokum.
It's so calming. It helps any anxiety that you're having just calm down. I found when Colin was fussy, putting him skin to skin settled him right down. And it really helped bond. I found that, him listening to my heartbeat and him listening to my breathing and just kind of my voice as I calmly and quietly talk to him, I found it was a really good calming technique.
Wherever possible, our baby physicians will actually do their physical assessment of the newborn while it's on the mom. The other thing that we've seen with skin to skin being embraced so readily by our staff is that we've actually seen a change in the amount of equipment we're using, which might seem a little bit funny, but when we keep our babies and our moms together and the body does that incredible thing of regulating breathing and heart rate and temperature, we find we don't have to take our babies over to our warmers. And what we've actually also seen is a decrease in the number of babies that are admitted for a short stay to our NICU.
In fact, quite recently, we had a baby that was delivered that was a little bit grunty, and the nurses all said, let's try skin to skin first. And they did, and the baby progressed and did just fine and never had to be separated from mom, and they had a beautiful bonding experience.
One of our favorite stories about skin to skin is about a mom and a baby who were separated, and the mom was quite sick and had to be in our intensive care unit. And the baby was born pretty early, and it was in our neonatal intensive care unit, or our NICU. And our NICU nurses were really, really keen about making sure that that baby got to be with its mama. And so they took turns taking the baby down to the ICU, so that even though the mom was not awake or able to hold her baby, that when they put the baby close to her and on her skin and close to her heart, that the mom actually started to stir and to wake up as a result of having her baby with her. And so that was really powerful for both our nurses in the NICU to see, as well as our intensive care unit staff.
We had a client who had done all her reading and all her prenatal classes and was really excited about doing skin-to-skin care. Unfortunately, she had to go for an emergency cesarean section and felt that she had been denied a very special part of the process of giving birth and bonding with her baby. So we examined it as a facility and as a group to talk about what we could do in those circumstances. And so we came up with a policy where if it was a scheduled cesarean section or an urgent cesarean section, not an emergency, we would make all efforts to do skin to skin in the operating room with mom and or support person. How we did that was talk to everybody involved. So we had to speak with the anesthetist, the surgeons who have workspace that they have to deal with. We also had to work with the nurses in the room because, again, we're changing the routine. And after receiving a lot of input and going back and forth and trying to problem solve, we came up with a series of events that happens so that mom can do skin to skin in the operating room.
Mount Sinai, for the second year, has participated in what's called a kangaroo-a-thon. It's pretty much a national kind of a competition, and we log every day how long each baby's been held skin to skin. We have volunteers helping us do that. We have a few prizes here and there for nurses and for parents, just to encourage and support the whole idea. We had in the NIC, we put out benefits to skin. One of our nurse practitioners would put out each day a little tidbit on skin to skin and the wonderful outcomes related to skin to skin. The thing about skin to skin is that there is plenty of research supporting how wonderful it is. You don't have to go far to know that it's a wonderful thing to do for everybody.
Even if they're going to bottle feed, it doesn't have to be all or nothing. So even if they're going to bottle feed, it doesn't mean the baby can't, have skin-to-skin time for bonding.
So skin-to-skin care with non-breastfeeding families is just as important as it is for breastfeeding families.
I do believe there's huge value in addressing skin to skin on many different levels across the entire continuum of care.
It's safe, it's easy, it's cheap, it's natural, it's where babies belong.
There's so much in terms of why skin to skin is important, but I think really and truly, if you talk to a mom who did skin to skin right after delivery, regardless of whether it's a healthy term baby or a preterm baby, there's your answer right now. The story that she tells you about how she felt holding her baby postpartum will sell it to you right there.